Hey everybody, it's me, Rhodey from Rhodey Reviews, and you're watching Disney Channel. No, you're actually watching a review on Star Wars Episode 1, and if you know nothing about Star Wars, well, this is going to be a treat for you. And make sure you hit that subscribe button if you want to keep up on all the latest reviews. But anywho, let's get into the review. Star Wars Episode 1 comes in a time where it's been 26 years from the last Star Wars movie, Return of the Jedi. And everyone's super excited for it, and, well, it disappoints a lot of people, not gonna lie. With Return of the Jedi, we left off with Luke Skywalker, Leia, and Han Solo. They kind of saved the galaxy, and they beat Darth Vader and the evil Emperor. Darth Vader was an interesting character, and George Lucas said, "Hey, why don't we look into his character, how he became Darth Vader?" The intent was to show little Anakin Skywalker as a young child growing up and becoming Darth Vader and being twisted and molded by the Emperor. A lot of people blame the failure of Episode 1 on Jake Lloyd, and it's not his fault. A lot of it had to do with George Lucas and his writing. There's a lot of cool big-name actors in it, like Qui-Gon Jinn was Liam Neeson, Obi-Wan Kenobi was Ewan McGregor, Princess Amidala was Natalie Portman, Samuel L. Jackson was Mace Windu. There was a lot of prominent actors in this movie that could have made this movie a lot better than what it was, but everyone looked at what George Lucas did in the original trilogy and said, you know what? He's probably right. No one stopped and said, hey, George, no one speaks like this? It is what it is. The dialogue and writing in this movie is atrocious. The one thing I do give this movie credit for is that it actually had a coherent story, unlike the new Disney Star Wars movies, which is upsetting. But we're not talking about the Disney trilogy, we're talking about Episode 1. And with Episode 1, it brings us to one of the most hated characters in all movies. It's Jar Jar Binks. It's not only hated for the sheer amount of annoyance that he causes, it's also hated because he's kind of a stereotype. So with Episode 1, we kind of follow Anakin's journey, where he's found on Tatooine by Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn. Qui-Gon has a feeling about him, and he thinks he could be the next greatest Jedi, mainly because of the midichlorians. Yes, this movie brought in midichlorians, unfortunately. And Anakin Skywalker had more than Yoda. That's how Anakin's journey started to become a Jedi to a Sith. Now this movie is kind of rather slow paced. There's some really cool action sequence and really cool movie sequences in this movie. For a lot of the movie, you're just sitting there bored. You're listening to the awful dialogue. You're trying to get Jar Jar out of your head, which makes this movie such a slugfest to get through, which is upsetting. You don't want your movie that brings back Star Wars to revitalize the name to be kind of boring. But that's what this movie ends up being. The only two real exciting and really good parts in this movie is the pod race, which is awesome. It was fun to watch. Watching Anakin Skywalker be the only human that can actually pod race, and how his reflexes and Jedi ability was able to help him win the race. But there was also the fight scene against Darth Maul and Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan that is just unbelievably cool. Darth Maul is such a good character. He just doesn't get the screen time that he deserves, and he doesn't get the ability to show off how badass he could actually be. Overall, this movie, I would have to give it a 3 out of 10. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and I don't want to sit down and watch Episode 1 unless we skip halfway through the movie, get to the pod race scene, and then go to the Darth Maul fight scene with Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon. Those are kind of the only scenes I want to see. The rest of it, throw it out the window. I don't care. But yeah. So this movie gets a 3 out of 10. What do you guys think about this movie? Are you as disappointed in Episode 1 as I am? Let me know in the comments below. And hey, if you like watching my reviews, hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out, and it'll help me grow a community here, which is what I want to do.